Welcome to Faz Radio. And you got the timing great on that. It actually
Good.
stopped when you stopped when it stopped. Hello,
I'm trying
boys
to
and
get
girls.
better at that.
We are here again and again in this very slow, very bare market. Bare.
You-
And nothing's on the shelves.
You know what else isn't on the shelf?
Your dick? What?
Your desktop computer,
That's
so
right.
that you don't jiggle through the whole cast.
Wait. I have a stand for my iPhone now. Right there. See?
Yes, that's 100 times better already.
Actually, this really neat wallet thing you can stick to the back of it. That's kind of cool.
Yep, it is.
And we have the Crypto Faz logo right there.
My dog broke mine, so there's letters missing on the bottom of mine. I gotta paint it or something.
Can I zoom in on this? No. Okay.
Oh, so that's great news. I found there was an Apple update yesterday or Wednesday, and I updated, and now I can take my iPhone and use it as a webcam anywhere. It doesn't have to be tethered to the Mac. So I'm pretty excited about that. It was much easier doing the wife's podcast when I didn't have wires going everywhere. So that works out well.
So we should start out by talking about your losing coin picks over the last bull market.
Holy shit. I had one rug.
So
Everybody gets a rug.
that's Black Eye Galaxy, boys and girls. BYG. Mr. Titan researched all these things. He said this is one of his favorites. This is what he used the Titan method to research. And I said, okay, I'll put my money where your mouth is. And I learned what happened.
I think I lost big pretty good too. So we were talking about that a little bit ago, and I don't know if they rugged per se. They started a new project with their same names. I'm wondering if they just didn't walk away from it. I don't know. I have no idea. But needless to say, it all went to shit.
Yeah,
there's not even.
They basically put something on their site saying, "Hey, thanks for all the fun. We're shutting down. Boy, it was nice hanging out with you guys."
Yeah.
Played dumbass, stupid shit of a game that was supposed to get really big but didn't.
So they were all doxxed. They all had histories. They had a couple of cool videos. They had a staking platform that worked. They had assets for sale. They were on their way to glory, and they had been around at that point for almost a year. So, yeah, I mean, I felt really good about that, and the videos that they created looked really good, and like it was going to be a high quality game. So I got schnookered on that one, and we were talking about
Not you.
yeah, maybe some others. That's why I try not to recommend too much anymore, because I haven't had a big winner pop yet.
Well, I recommended Stronghold back in the bull market. And
My phone is up there.
While it's gone down, all the other coins have too. They've actually wound up hanging on and doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Stronghold is kind of like I would call Ripple's baby brother or baby sister or whatever, baby sibling. They seem to be doing a similar thing as Ripple, but with commodities. And they've been using this bear market to hire. They've been hiring people all throughout it and kind of having a low profile. I think they're preparing for the next bull market.
I thought, and I hope I'm not wrong, I thought Stronghold was going to be the token that carried the liquidity for the bridges, no? Or is that a different one?
Oh, beats me. No, all I knew is it's basically another version of XRP, but for different things, but not payments, but for commodities.
I called you out on your bullshit on your tweet too.
My tweet?
Yeah, did you see that?
Just now? No, I've been on the show with you.
No, earlier this week, because XRP is not meant for use in banking, and it was Joel Katz who said that, who's one of the founders of Ripple.
XRP has always been all XRP has been used by Ripple to be a remittance token. It wasn't designed for anything other than just to be a successor to Bitcoin. And
The banks were never intended to use it, though, is what he was saying. He says it's not a. I copied the tweet to you. He said it's not a banking token. It's not even designed to be used by banks.
Did I say that it'd be a banking token?
Yes.
I think I might have said that it was there to replace banks, to do what banks would do.
You were saying you knew that the banks would use it. That's why you liked it so much.
So yes, that's not the same thing as a banking token. Banks using XRP, they would need it for remittances as well. Banks do services. They create loans and they lend to people and they help people through, get money and stuff like that. Those services are still going to be needed regardless of whether you have an all crypto economy or USD or whatever. So no, if I said banking, I probably meant that the banks would be using it for remittances instead of Nostro and Vostro accounts.
So Japan apparently wants to use it for in their not so much the banking system, but on the rails that interbank transfers use.
Yeah.
Is the latest that I saw.
Okay, there you go. Because, Swift is supposed to do that kind of stuff. But if you really get under the hood with Swift, you start finding out that really it's just a bunch of people agreeing that their ledgers line up. It's not like... What's nice about XRP is you have this like atomic units that can be passed and transferred over and verified and stuff like that. And when you do Swift, you're just working with just some arbitrary ledger, and you're checking to see if these two banks agree, and basically it's just a process.
Well, and there's long settlement, and businesses use that for B2B transfers and settling accounts and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and that's supposed to be getting an upgrade. It still hasn't, but Fed now is supposed to be going live, which is the solution to try and replace that. I think they said July they want to have that out. And basically, it's the Swift network, except they're just going to say everything is settled faster. They're going to promise it's settled faster. I don't think, based on the very scant details they've released on it, that it will be any different. I think they're just
sounds like the
all
US
talk.
Sounds like the U.S. government wants to be the credit card company in the middle to extend credit to all these remittance things.
They want to get in the game without going into crypto is what they want to do.
Yeah, and see, this is again, I get it. A lot of these companies have been used to doing things the old way, and crypto takes away the middleman. There's nobody to record anything in the ledger anymore. It's just all done automatically. And once things get cooking with that, nobody's going to care anymore. But what they don't realize is with everything operating more smoothly, you're never going to lose a payment. In Swift, they lose payments all the time, and it takes days and days and days to figure them out and get it solved, and people are really inconvenienced. Not with a blockchain.
That's one of the huge parts of it, and everybody's it's kind of turned into a circus, right? Because it's all about the making money, and it's comparing to the stock market and the dollar signs and the gains, and it's all about that. The blockchain itself has use, and a lot of people they don't realize that.
Well, see, what's going to happen if crypto ever really catches on? The values will go up and down, in my opinion, a lot like currencies will. They'll go up and down very, very small amounts. It's just that right now, since we're early, the values are pretty low, but they'd be high. And that's when the values will just be jumping around very small numbers all the time. Everybody right now is treating it very speculatively and like stocks, but I don't know. I think people are starting to maybe figure it out that crypto isn't an investment in and of itself. But then again, as we learned on the Gala Discord, people use the word investment for anything.
Well, it is an investment. It depends on how you define investment.
Well, you could say my investment in apple pies, or you could say
Right.
my investment in Apple companies. Apple, you say my investment in apple pies is not really an investment.
Well, same with a car, right? You're investing in a depreciating asset. Is that really investing? You're not
Well,
expecting a return out of it.
you're investing in the ease of use and the opportunity to make money and stuff like that. So in one sense, it's an investment. But unfortunately, when you call coins an investment, that's not even an investment like a car. It's even
No.
less.
So I'm having like a side conversation over in the comments here with Zorro, asking him if he's been broadcasting, and I was telling Faz a little bit earlier that I don't normally like shout out other content creators because I don't have a ton of time, right? And I watch people for a bit, and if I don't like it, I just kind of blow it off. And some shows that I used to watch or listen to, I don't listen to anymore. And there's one now that I tried to listen to and didn't like it so much. And I watched a couple of the recent episodes, and I kind of like it now. There's been a shift in paradigm. There's been a shift in attitude. There's been a shift in content, and I do kind of like it. So for those of you who used to, like me, just not enjoy Crypto Wendy O, she's kind of rebranded her O show, and she does dailies now. And the shows that I used to watch I didn't like, she would just throw up these charts and talk about all these obscure projects and money, and all kinds of degen stuff. I didn't like it, right? But now she's talking about the Fed. She's talking about the economy. She's talking about the bullshit that goes on with regulations. And I've seen her, like in the crypto Twitter feed that I have, it's hard to go to read anybody's tweets without seeing her in there. She's like going all in on this content creation thing. And these shows are worth listening to. She's cut them to a half an hour. And she's herself in them, which is even better. She's not trying to act like a character or somebody that she's not. Like her daughter bangs on the door and she'll go take care of her daughter. I mean, it's fantastic. So give it another go if you didn't really like the content before. Give it a go. See if you like it now. Things change, people change, paradigms, narratives, they switch. The what?
Markets change.
Everything changes. Everything changes constantly. You've got to evolve, revolve, and evolve. And I was just poking Zorro to get his show back up and going. I loved listening to his show. He had a lot of great stuff that he was talking about. We got to get Glitch getting some more shows going too. I was thoroughly enjoying his podcast as well.
Glitch has invited me on his show, and I had to cancel on him twice. The second time, I'd gotten in a scooter accident with the scooter that I showed you guys. Still recovering from that, doing a lot better. So.
We'll be starting the Faz Radio Crash Helmet Fund for Faz, so that he keeps his, well, actually it might knock some sense into you and you'll agree with us who know what we're talking about more.
What's this here? I see new comments, but I don't see anything new. Okay, that's weird.
So we've got to talk a little bit of Gala, and I prefaced this in the green room with you. It took me by surprise because it's something Gala said that they weren't going to do anymore, and they're doing it again.
Like have a Telegram channel?
Well, no, that's not it. The Telegram's a really bad idea for them, and they got burned once by it. A bunch of people got scammed because they had their Telegram going, and maybe they think they know better now and how to do it better. I don't know. But there was an announcement that I don't know when they made it, but it was on Classies and it was on one other one. Apparently, they feel that Spider Tanks is a successful game. So they're going to take Grit and model Grit after Spider Tanks. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
And they're backing off of Gala coin will be the only token.
Oh God.
They're creating a separate token for the new game Grit. So they said up and down they weren't going to do that anymore. They realized the error in their ways, and they would be using Gala and Gala only because it's best for the ecosystem and best for the community. And here we go again.
So, okay. So I've given opinions on this both ways. My first opinion is that they were scaling up too fast. And having a coin for each game is cool because you could tweak the economy for each game. But then, Gala then has to manage the economy of economies, to move values between the coins. It gives them a lot of options. But as we found out with Towncoin, it turned out that Gala wasn't skilled enough to manage these economies. It's a great idea when you know what the fuck you're doing. So I get a feeling that there must be some strong desire to isolate Grit in and of its own for either profits or to keep losses at a minimum, one of the two.
So that begs the question, will they resurrect Towncoin after they had everybody get rid of it?
Well, then it probably wouldn't be called Towncoin. It'd be something else, but yeah. So if Townstar got really, really popular, I don't see why not. Now, funny fact is I still haven't cashed in the Towncoin for my son's account.
So, well, I did. I got a favorable return on that when I converted mine into Gala, and that's not the point. But it's part of the point because I'm sure some people would get wrecked if they brought back Towncoin.
That interests me because I'm curious now if somebody were to do, I don't know, some sort of analysis on Towncoin. I wonder who holds the most Towncoin. Would it be Gala Games? Because if it was,
well, here's the thing. So
use it again.
This is a good dovetail. So circling back, I wonder if we look back at all the addresses that we've collected over time for Gala Games, like the ecosystem, and see if they actually traded their Towncoin for Gala coin. I wonder if that was ever validated. And if they didn't, that might be a clue. If they did, that could be a different clue.
Because there's got to be some people that held on to Towncoin, and if they're going to do this again for Grit, Zorro disagrees with you apparently.
I don't think Grit developer will stay in the ecosystem for a long time. Something doesn't match there. I have not followed that enough. I just started seeing this stuff because I started following Classy, so I get some nuggets here and there. So I don't know anything about Grit. I know Forged and Betty Orb like Grit, but I haven't seen much coming out from them lately on that. And so the whys behind the whys, right? This is a great dovetail. Last week or the week before, I put out the discovery that Gala was paying for Twitter interaction, okay? And it was odd. Why all of a sudden are they paying for that? Well, the answer revealed itself. It is part of a metric that Certec uses for certifying a project. And they put out the Medium article on the Gala Medium blog, and What is metric number 4? Twitter engagement. And it shows this wonderful graph of how it's just been climbing like there's no tomorrow over the last little bit. So that tells me a couple of things. Number one, it tells me the why behind the why. Number two, does Surtech not care where those metrics come from? That tells me they're a bullshit certifier. If they're not going back and saying, look, you guys farmed this engagement and we're standing behind it, certifying you as a legit project here. To me, that all of that just is lousy. No? Do you think that's kind of lousy?
Yeah, I guess what do they certify it in if they're fooled by those numbers?
Yeah, I mean, that really bothered me. And so I'm just happy I did find out the why behind the why on that, why suddenly they were doing that. It all makes sense now. The last bit of Gala news that I have is something you'll like. They're kind of resurrecting from the dead the Echoes of Empire game. They're posting.
When did they die? They've always been pretty low key, actually.
Well, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say. Let me rephrase that. They've been dead quiet for months and months. Now,
incorrect again. I've been subscribing to their Twitter feed. They put out a new ship design literally like twice a week.
Okay, so
you haven't been paying attention, sir.
No, I don't follow that stuff. I just pop into the Gala Discord once or twice a week, see what the...
Yeah, go to their Twitter and look at the dates. They put things out prolifically, and they do
I
AMAs
am not
all the time.
following that. Yeah, well, they do. They have been having some pretty good quality AMAs from what people have been saying. So you might want to jump on some of those, Mr. Echoes of Empire. And Star Atlas is getting a lot of traction lately, too. I bought a bunch of Star Atlas because of you, so we'll see how that goes.
I have a Star Atlas ship, don't I? Didn't me and you walk through one?
Yep. Yeah, you showed me that, and I bought a whole shit ton of tokens to see how that'll work out. The ships, I didn't buy anything yet because you said it was still a few years out, so I haven't bought anything on their ecosystem, but I have tokens. I have a whole bunch. So... Did you see that Elon is going to fight Zuckerberg?
That's what you got?
No, this is super interesting. This is no joke.
Zuckerberg, the same guy who like somebody filmed his like judo class or
jiu-jitsu
class like a week and a half ago, and he got pinned pretty darn quickly by some low-rated guy.
So Elon challenged him, and Zuckerberg popped in. He's like, just name the place. And so Dana White of the UFC got involved, and they're trying to set something up in Vegas for a pay-per-view for the initial talks, I guess it's going to be $100 for each pay-per-view stream, and 100% of it's going to charity. And personally, I want to see, and I posted this on Elon's feed, I just want to see one clip, a 10-second clip, even if he loses. I want to see a 10-second close-up clip of like what you see in the Rocky movies, where it's just Elon slugging Zuckerberg and the blood just comes out. Because, you know, what came out about Facebook, about the censorship and everything else, I would like to see him lose just one tooth there, and I'll be a really happy guy. That'll be the payback I need for him being an asshole with his platform.
I don't know. Zuckerberg appears to have more time than Elon. Elon sleeps at his factories and eats hot dogs all the time. So
yeah, he's not in good shape, but he's got some of the top people in the sport offering to train him up to the fight. And Elon's famous tagline for everything, that he posts, when people post like interesting things or conspiracies, he'll say it's always the most entertaining outcome. And so when they were talking about the fight again, he said this will end up being the most entertaining outcome. So we'll see how this works. This is going to be fun, though.
That will be interesting. I'll put money on Zuckerberg actually, but I don't know. They have all sorts of options to just make it silly.
Well, we've got to get a legit project going with a Zuck token and a Elon token, and get a platform set up, and we'll take bets on who's who. Because I got, even though he's not so good, I would take Elon in that one. I think he's got some built up rage, and I think he can do well.
So I have let's get back on topic here. So I've been
that is
topical, yes. Anyway, so I've been watching. Apparently, the SEC has just approved a leveraged Bitcoin ETF, but apparently has problems with spot ETFs. What the fuck?
So BlackRock just filed, and after the BlackRock filing, about 20 other institutions filed for spot ETFs as well, because they obviously think BlackRock's going to get their way. All right. I still think it's 50-50, because Gensler knows if he approves one, he has to approve all of them that come out, unless he has some.
All ETFs are slightly different. But so you have a partial point. I think BlackRock, and this is my prediction, I think BlackRock's going to win no matter what. If it gets turned down, then they can be like, "See, we tried. Crypto's not ready," and then they can just kind of probably even crash the market with that, and then start scooping stuff up, and then wait for a round two. And then if they get approved, well, they're doing swell there. So I think BlackRock will win no matter what.
Well, I think that's the whole reason Bitcoin's been pumping the last few days, is the speculation on that. People assuming it's just going to get approved.
Well,
they got approved. There was, and we'd have to pull up Twitter, because I was just scrolling earlier, and I'm pretty sure that there's a futures ETF that just got approved for Bitcoin. But what I want to talk about, what struck me immediately with BlackRock filing for a spot ETF, I think it's highly possible that that's how they will try and control Bitcoin, because I think they'll be issuing a lot of paper Bitcoin with that ETF.
Well, okay. So Bitcoin is just screaming for rehypothecation. So once people are able to rehypothecate Bitcoin, it's on. It's kind of funny, because Bitcoin is supposed to be, the money that will actually keep the value, and it probably will. It's just going to be very hard to get a hold of a Bitcoin. Back in 2019, 2018, that's when I got into Bitcoin, and I kind of predicted that there's only like 21 million Bitcoin out there, and once it gets popular, there's more than 21 million millionaires in the world, U.S. millionaires, U.S. type millionaires. They're each going to want one, and they're not going to be able to get one. And that's when Bitcoin will, it'll become, it's a social token. It'll be cool because you'll have one. It's like buying a bar of gold or something. And eventually, a sat will become worth a lot. But they're going to rehypothecate it, in my opinion. Once it gets some sort of value, they're going to say, "Let me buy it. Let me hold it for you, and then you can make money off of it," because everybody's using it for money now, and you want to be protected from the market volatility.
There's a lot of paper assets being created from crypto now, and I saw another post this week. Somebody took their FTX account debt for $31,000, created an NFT with the login details and all that kind of stuff for their account, encrypted in there. They took it to a DeFi provider and got a loan for $7,500 on that NFT. So they just created crypto out of thin air.
No, they
in
didn't create
a
crypto.
different sense.
No, they didn't create crypto. They created value. The value in that case is a potential value, because if FTX does resolve in some way, that's probably more than $7,500 that they had in there.
Well, you know that DeFi provider is going to make that available, right? In case of, they're going to use that as an asset to then create more assets for themselves. They will take that hedge and say, look, we've got control of this. This is pledged as a loan. Give us a loan on this as well. So they're creating tokens out of thin air, because these are actual USDC tokens that are being traded.
I wouldn't call that that NFT what you're calling a token. I'd call it value. If it's value, if you can trade a possible value. I can't even read that. If I give you a chance at $100, I can sell that chance to you. That's what that is. The NFT is just the mechanism, but the true meat and potatoes is that you have $100 of potential value. So you might be able to sell that $100 of value for $5. Okay, great.
So that's a speculative asset.
Of course, yes.
So that's a security.
Probably so. Well, no. Okay, speculative assets are not securities.
It's the potential, the reasonable expectation of profit.
I'll say this differently. Just because something is a speculative asset doesn't mean it's a security. It means it's a speculative asset. I mean, you could say the same thing about a dollar bill.
There's a reasonable expectation of profit. There's a reliance on a third party, which is the settlement in the FTX court case. It meets all of Howie,
okay,
right?
Well, you've only said two parts.
Okay. Two parts can equal a security. You realize that, right?
Well, no, not that I'm aware of. I believe it has to, and I'm not a lawyer, and neither are you. I believe it has to meet all four prongs of the Howie test.
That's for a guaranteed slam dunk. There have been cases where 3 of the 4 have been proven, and it's been a security.
So I would think that it would be a security if that third party was somehow controlling it and intending to manipulate the value. I have a hard time believing that waiting on a court case makes that a third party that can manipulate the coin.
It's a reliance on a third party.
Well, I think we need lawyers in here to really kind of suss that out, because we've talked before about your armchair lawyering,
That's right.
securitizing.
And I'm right when I armchair lawyer. You're not.
You like to say that you're right. I like to say things like "not necessarily" and "wait a minute, let's look into that," or "no, I don't think so." I don't tell you what facts are. My goal is to get people to look and read for themselves. You want to tell people what things are. That's why
you sound like a lawyer. Everything's a disclaimer. I love this, except I might not later.
Weren't you just saying earlier today that change is the one constant in this universe? You can't count on anything. So no, you can't. Absolutes don't exist.
Absolutes don't exist. They do. Absolutes do exist.
Absolutes absolutely do not.
So we can circle back to a topic that LA Toolman brought up that you were talking about in the green room, as a matter of fact. We teased him with some node talk. What's going on with your nodes, man?
My nodes? What?
Yeah.
What's this? This is stream nodes.
Yeah. So in the topic.
I said some of my nodes weren't hooked up because I moved and I need to hook them back up.
In the description, I put we would probably talk a excuse me, a little about nodes. Because we had some conversations about Holo and how they're progressing and our Holo
sure.
nodes, and you had mentioned some of your nodes. You've got them over with Nerd Node, and other ones
I do have some. Yeah.
are just kind of idle at the moment. And you got to get those spun up.
My
What
holochain
is
node is idle. Yes.
what is your take now on nodes? Are you still Mr. Happy Node and think that nodes are the future, or do you think the node run is over and you just kind of grab some tokens now?
Why does it always have to be such an absolute black and white there? I think nodes have potential, and it really got to see what everybody does with them. I mean, yeah, if the world gets behind nodes, the nodes are going to take off, and it's great. And I have some, and I'll hopefully make money from that. But if nodes don't take off due to the political winds, which I think the current SEC chair wants specific companies to, they want everything to be securities so that they can regulate it. However, the conservatives, the Republicans, are all like against all that because, well, the Democrats are for it. They're against poo-pooing crypto. They want crypto, and in a rare show of solidarity, I kind of agree with that. I think that tokenizing value and notifying value is a good thing. Nodes that create tokens based upon a sound business model is a really good idea, in my opinion.
That's
But
just creating securities. It's
well,
based on what the company does. You just said it
that's your
yourself.
that's your black and white assessment. Okay, we know this. You asked me what I'm thinking. I think nodes have potential, whether they are securities or not. So
Money
there.
printer goes burr. The node printer goes burr.
Something always goes burr. See, the U.S. government is used to being the money printer and the source of value. They really don't like it when they are not the source of value. And what's confounding them about crypto and NFTs is now you have non-monetary value that is what do you call that, encapsulated in a token or an NFT that they can't really control because some tokens are just so far out that they're really hard to understand.
So, what about nodes that actually do things? We're not talking about like game platforms. I know LA Toolman mentioned Steam nodes. I don't know if that meant they have Steam nodes now or there should be
So
Steam nodes now.
so remember,
But
okay, remember Gala. The whole intention behind Gala Games' nodes was to be able to run games on the nodes. And then, of course, if you ran the node, then you would be providing CPU power for people to play these games, and then you would be rewarded for providing that CPU power. I think that's an eventual goal, and that sounds like what Steam would do as well. Because one of the biggest problems out in the gaming world is people have to keep upgrading their machines to play games. And it would be a whole lot nicer if you could get the crappiest browser or crappiest computer in the land and log on and play one of the best games out there. Well, you can do that with nodes.
well, nodes. A lot of nodes run on Raspberry Pis, but Raspberry
Well,
Pis are really difficult to get a hold of now.
well, a lot of nodes because they might have a very simple purpose, which is to print money. But the game nodes, like the ones that Gala has envisioned, the whole purpose is to provide CPU power. And the same thing with Holochain nodes. Holochain wants to provide a platform to run all these programs, and I call them like a distributed AWS. That's what they want to be. They're like the abstract version of a Gala node. They want to run anything on
Right.
their, which is nice. That means if I wanted to run something, so let me get into Holochain a little bit. So if I wanted to run something like, I don't know, maybe I write a chess program and I want everybody to play it, I could go stick it up on the nodes, and then I'd have to pay some Holo Fuel, which is their token. I'd have to pay some Holo Fuel to get it on a node or on my node or set it there, or somebody else's node. My node, if I had my own node, I could probably do it for free. But whatever the case is, I pay Holo Fuel to put it up there, and then as people played the game, then there might be Holo Fuel rewards. people that host my game would get rewards as well. So there's the concept with Holo Fuel and Holochain is really cool because now you can put value up there, and every time somebody uses it, that value is encapsulated in the token. Great.
Mm-hmm.
That means if you, and the whole idea is, I mean, you can have high scores. Well, with games, you can have high scores that actually mean something, and you can trade stuff that you've collected. But with Holochain, what if you did something like, I don't know, some sort of computation server? What if you figured out like all the numbers of pi to a certain digit? You could sell that computation alone, or you could sell what it does, or whatever. There's the sky's the limit. You could sell its compute power. You could sell its results. I mean, there's a lot of value there that should be traded, in my opinion. It's going to create a great little economy. What's that? Some of these services that like make AI pictures and stuff like that. Boy, it'd be nice if you just paid, instead of paying a company, you'd be paying the node owner, whoever's running this thing. You just pay it, and then you get your product out. You get these silly AI pictures of yourself out of it, and you paid a little bit of Holo Fuel for it. Great.
Well, Holo is not a blockchain the way that blockchains look today. Yeah, it's a different setup, and it's not even like these Z-Snarks and ZVMW, PQRST, up your
there's
V.
IOTA. IOTA doesn't have a blockchain either. IOTA has something called the Tangle, which is blockchain-like.
Don't get me started on IOTA. I'm still pissed at BitTrue about that.
Oh, get started.
I lost a incredible amount of gains because of BitTrue.
You lost not just an IOTA, but a whole bunch of IOTA.
I lost a whole bunch of IOTA. So I was trading it and doing very well. And it was a couple $100 at like 5 zeros and whatever. And they finally came out with their own wallet that had staking in it. Back then it was like 14%. BitTrue locked the wallet on the platform, and nothing could come out. All you could do was trade it. And they kept poo-pooing, oh, well, yeah, there's maintenance. Sorry, the chain, they upgraded their chain, and we can't, do anything. You saw them on the chain staking everybody's shit on the IOTA new staking platform. And they never opened it up. I kept it there for probably 3 months waiting. Finally, I just sold it. And by then, a lot of the market had started to move in the wrong direction. I didn't make any money on it. And that was at the time the only place I could get it because there wasn't enough liquidity. Everybody took all their IOTA and stuck it in these staking programs, and you couldn't buy through the app that they had, the wallet that they had. So I missed out big time. It went up. It lost like 2 zeros. I was frickin' furious. They didn't want you taking your tokens off of there. And I was staking a lot of my Holo tokens on the Power Piggy at the time. And I immediately pulled them off of there and put them in my hardware wallet because I'm like, you know what? If they're going to play games like that, I am not trusting them. Because I was getting like 7% on my Holo tokens there. That's the only reason I kept anything on an exchange. I kept like $1,000 worth in Power Piggy. And it was nice. I was getting daily rewards and everything else. And then they went south with me real fast. You go back in early Faz Radios, I never trusted them to begin with. BitTrue? And after they I didn't trust BitTrue at all, no. And after that IOTA mess, that was the last straw with them.
I think I still have some money over in BitTrue. I just haven't taken the time to get it off there yet. I have tokens on BitTrue,
they're Limex tokens. And that was a hot crypto tip from one of our friends in that private room where there were 4 of us. And it did really well. I was making money on it. And the whole purpose behind that is, I think it was, I want to say Singapore or Korea. It was an Asian nation. They took an entire city and they got volunteers to move into this city, and all they were using is crypto tokens, with Limex being the primary token. They wanted to do a study. This was literally like a live study of crypto in the wild. And it did well. I traded it well. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, and it kind of died out. People started using too many other tokens besides the Limex, and it turned into any other project that just kind of withered, and it hasn't done much of anything since. But that's the only thing I have left on BitTrue. But I like that concept. Those are the projects I looked for back then. I would sort through. BitTrue has this fantastic. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been on there in a while, but they had this where you could sort the tokens into a new group, meaning new tokens that came out, and then it ranked them by how popular they thought they would get. And you would click on it, and they would give you a synopsis of what the project was about and why they thought it was a winner. And that one, after that person gave me that tip, I read about it, and I said, whoa, this is really cool. They're actually using crypto in a city. This could be really cool. And they had planned on using some of the funds that they collected, like the government would collect Limex as taxes, and they would build parks with it, and the people would contribute to that ecosystem, and then it would recycle.
Wasn't WorldCoin supposed to be like that too?
It's probably close. Yeah, it's kind of like a semi-clone of like WorldCoin. But it's kind of cool. I haven't circled back on them in a while. I'm going to go take a look and see if that project is even still running, if that test is still running.
So
I have no idea.
So I need to get going soon, but for a last thing here, Zorro said, I think he's asking you about Pepe. Put his comment up there.
Oh, yeah, Pepe. I did Pepe for a while. I didn't make any money on it. I bought into the shit coinery, and I didn't make any money on it.
Well, do you think it will eventually? See, I have a feeling it may eventually turn into something like Dogecoin.
No, I do not think that Pepe has the chance to do that. I think SHIB has the best option.
Why SHIB?
Because they've not been very good at it, but they're at least trying. They're trying to develop things with it. They're not very successful. They tried a game. They tried.
I thought Dogecoin was getting some development now.
I have not followed Dogecoin. I have no information on that whatsoever. And yes, Zorro, I used to be a heavy shitcoiner, yes. And over the last 3 years, I got out of the shitcoinery, and now whatever shitcoins I have left, I trade them either directly into Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and I still do a tiny bit of shitcoining. Like when I bought the Pepe, I had a couple $100 left of some really shitty shitcoins, and I just combined those, and I said, all right, I'm going to throw it in Pepe for a while. With the rage, it's catching on. Maybe I can make a couple $100 on it, and then I'm going to pull it out and dump it back into Bitcoin or something. And it just didn't do anything. So I'm like, you know what? Why am I doing this? This is stupid. So I just pulled it out, and I think I threw that into ETH. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, you know what I did? I took that out, I think, because I think I talked about this on Faz Radio. I took that out, and I put it into Playable.
Which is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, so I circled back with Playable.
And then this is
And
going to be it because I got to go after this.
yeah, so I circled back. I jumped into their Discord. I pop in every once in a while. And we're going to bring the Playable folks back on in July. And there's all kinds of stuff going on over there. If you haven't followed them since our cast with them the last time, they've made some progress. It's some good progress. They've cleaned up their Discord. They've got their act together now. They're on a mission. They're investing money into their platform and into their games, and they're starting to make some progress. And there's all kinds of cool news about it that we'll talk about with them when they come on in July.
Are they going to guarantee some more? Some
No, so I think Nate talked about this. They're in Dubai, so they don't have to worry so much. If U.S. people get banned, they've got the rest of the world that can still invest in them. And that's my parting comment, is a friendly reminder. Here's the Titan reminder of the week. We're also concerned about the SEC and how crypto's going to shit. You've got to look outside the United States. It's not about the United States. It's about the global platform for Bitcoin and for crypto. Keep that in mind. Just because the USA shuts something down or creates hell for people doesn't mean the rest of the world is going to do that. You just got to get creative and find a way to participate other ways.
The USA is getting scared that their monopoly is ending on money and value because everything's been traded in dollars, and now other things are coming out that people want, and they don't like that.
Did you see the clip from Yellen?
No. What'd she say?
She testified, and she said, we predict a slow withdrawal as the U.S. dollar being the reserve world currency. You need to expect that and prepare for it. She said it publicly.
A slow withdrawal of what?
USD as the world reserve currency.
That people will stop using it. That's what you're trying to say?
That's what she said. Yeah, that she was testifying to Congress. Yes, testifying to Congress that they need to prepare because the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency is likely to slowly go away.
Yeah, and my parting comment, because you've had several, my parting comment is that...
Same comment.
Mr. Powell said crypto has apparently got more staying power than they thought.
That was big. That was big. And notice that comment was made after BlackRock had applied for the spot ETF. I think that's poignant right there.
That he's just trying to keep from looking stupid when BlackRock gets approved because they got friends in high places. But like I said, they can even be denied and it will still go good. All right. I need to get going.
Yes. So, look forward to Playable in July. Thursdays have been a mess for us lately. Faz had some stuff going on for a while. I filled in. I had some stuff going on this Thursday as well as Faz. We're going to try and get Thursdays back up and running, but it will be spotty. So apologies from us on the inconsistency. We own that. We're going to try and get it back going. Fridays are a guarantee, but Thursdays is going to be kind of if we're both available going forward, at least for the summer.
What day of the week is next Friday? Is it, sorry.
It's a Friday.
I knew that. What day of the month is Friday?
So 7 plus,
Today's
what are we on, 23? So that'd be the 30th. Yeah.
So, things are going to start getting dicey for me around the end of the week because I have things. Well, I'm actually going on vacation first. If you're not here, we're volunteering Zorro to come on and co-host with me. To come because if he doesn't have a show going on, then you got to get him on this show.
And he does Tuesdays usually, so he'll be free on Friday. We're gonna have Zorro step up to the podium for
Make
a
it happen.
Friday show if Faz can't make it. But if Faz can't make it on Fridays, every Friday I will at least be here. I will miss one at the end of July because I'm going on vacation. I'm going to miss one at the end of July. But every other Friday is absolutely 1,000% Faz Radio time. We're going to try Thursdays. If someone wants to come on and guest host with me for a Thursday when Faz isn't here, we'll absolutely throw up a show. And the same goes if I'm out for a Thursday and Faz is free. Feel free, because we love having people on. We love having content going out, and we just lost Faz. So he had to go. It's time for me to go. You guys stay Faz-tastic for another week, and we will see you next week here live on Faz Radio.